Good evening and welcome to this regular meeting of the Poway Unified School Board. It is October 10th and it is 6:04 p.m. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast, so if you're here, you might be seen or heard on that recording. I now invite you to stand for the pledge. For our report out of closed session, Ms. Couvrette.
All right, closed session began at 4:05. The Board of Education took the following action in closed session. 2.1-A, in the matter of conference with legal counsel pending existing litigation, case number ADR 0904-2024. On a motion by Dr. Seitzma and a second by Ms. Plotsky, the board voted unanimously to approve the settlement agreement. 2.1-B, in the matter of conference with legal counsel pending existing litigation, case number OAH 202-405-0871. On a motion by Dr. Seitzma and a second by Ms. Couvrette, the board voted unanimously to approve the settlement agreement. 2.2-A, in the matter of conference with legal counsel anticipated litigation, on a motion by Ms. O'Connor-Radcliffe and a second by Ms. Plotsky, the board voted unanimously to approve the settlement agreement. There was no other reportable action taken in closed session except the following. In closed session began at 5:50. The last item to mention is in the matter of 2.6-B, in the matter of public employee appointment superintendent. On a motion by Ms. O'Connor-Radcliffe and a second by Dr. Seitzma, the board voted unanimously to employ Dr. Ben Churchill as the next superintendent of the Poway Unified School District. The board will be taking action later this evening during open session regarding the superintendent employment agreement.
Congratulations to Dr. Churchill. I know he's here, so while he's making his way up to our speakers table, I have a couple of comments on behalf of the board. Welcome to Team PUSD, Dr. Churchill. In a field of exceptional candidates, Dr. Churchill's extensive experience, his approachable demeanor, and innovative vision for moving this district forward really stood out. The board placed a huge priority on our PUSD community's input during this 4-month-long process. So the board wishes to thank everyone for your valuable contributions, which included 1,100 survey responses, participation in 10 different meetings. We had representative educational partners from the community, staff, employee groups, parents, students, and administrators at those. The results of the survey and the meetings then informed the desired leadership qualifications for our finalists. Bridge builder, visible and approachable, high degree of integrity, inspirational and visionary, servant leader, respect for all. We believe that Dr. Churchill encompasses all of these qualities and will be an incredible leader for our district. We also want to thank the executive search firm McPherson & Jacobson for their thorough and extensive national search and for bringing us such excellent candidates. Dr. Churchill is here. I want to give him some time to say a few words and introduce himself to our community. First, though, I invite everyone to join us in enthusiastically welcoming Dr. Churchill to Poway Unified.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Ben Churchill, and I could not be more excited to join Team PUSD. I'd like to thank the Board of Education for offering me this amazing opportunity to join a world-class organization that does great things for students. Poway Unified School District is well positioned to build on its reputation as a national model for innovation and achievement, and I am thrilled to help lead this work. As I shared with the board in my initial interview, in the words of Stephen Covey, wise leaders seek first to understand and then to be understood. I'm excited to get started in PUSD, and a top priority will be to listen and learn from as many education partners as possible. I can't wait to hear more about what makes PUSD great and to learn about the challenges we need to face together. I've been a superintendent just up the road in Carlsbad for the past 8+ years, and I know that district leadership is a team sport. I'm looking forward to working with the senior leadership team, with the Board of Education. I'm looking forward to working with families and staff and students to continue the great work currently underway and to co-create a vision for the future of Poway Unified School District, a future where all students have the opportunity to achieve at high levels and where a sense of belonging is part of all that we do. So again, board, community, thank you for this phenomenal opportunity. I can't wait to get started.
Thank you again, Dr. Churchill. At this time, in view of all the media in the room, I'm going to call a 5-minute recess to allow Dr. Churchill and possibly our media partners out there to take this opportunity and step out to the lobby or the front of the district office, whatever works for you guys. So we'll call it 5 minutes and we'll be back. Hello? All right, that sounds like about 5 minutes to me. We're ready to go, team. Agenda item 3.3 is members in attendance. Please show that all members of the Board of Education, including our student board member, are present. Little decorum, folks. We're starting again here. Item 3.4 is our welcome to the public. I'll turn it over to our student board members. Ms. Kiley.
Sorry, I may have a bit of a cough. Welcome to the monthly meeting of the Board of Education. If you would like to address the board on any agenda item, please complete a speaker slip. All requests to speak must be submitted to the clerk of the board before the agenda item comes up. Speaking time for agenda items is 2 minutes per speaker. If you would like to address the board on a non-agendized item, you may do so under item 4.2, public comments. Speaking time is limited to 2 minutes per speaker with a maximum of 30 minutes total unless waived by the board president. There will be a 30-second yellow warning light when time is running out. Speakers may only speak on one topic under item 4.2 and may not defer their speaking time to another individual. If there are concerns regarding specific individuals, it is preferred that the speaker refrain from naming them publicly to respect their privacy. The board will accept and review any written materials that would provide more specific information. The Brown Act does not permit board action or extended discussion of any item not on the agenda, but your concerns will be referred to staff. With that said, welcome and thank you for coming.
Thank you, Ms. Kiley. Item 3.5 is approval of our agenda sequence. Anything to mention? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. A motion by Ms. Couvrette,
Second.
second by Dr. Patel. With a preferential vote from Ms. Kiley?
Aye.
Thank you. And everyone else, all in favor? Aye. That passes unanimously, 6-0. That takes us to item 4.1, our student board representatives. Who wants to go first? I spy with my little eye our red Letterman's jacket, so Salil Bromwell, come on down from Mount Carmel.
Good evening, board members, and thank you for allowing me to come today. My name is Soleil Bramwell, and I'm Mount Carmel's ASB president, and I'm very excited to share with you all the amazing things the Sun Devils are doing right now. We kicked off the school year by welcoming our freshmen with our awesome Link Crew seniors and had our freshman retreat for the underclassmen to bond and hear a powerful message from the one and only Keith Hawkins. The Link Crewers also put on the freshman campfire, which is where the freshmen are able to learn what it is all about, or what it is all about to be at MC and how to be a part of the Sun Devil way. We also have 2 more freshman campfires coming up in this trimester, so that they're able to create more connections and form more friendships. MC's No Place for Hate Committee started their campaign with students signing the pledge to keep our school a safe space. Our homecoming football game was on September 13th, where the Red Sea took the road back home with our Cars theme and celebrated with class floats, the homecoming court, and of course the best part, fireworks. The following week, we had our homecoming dance inside of our gym and quad, where over 1,200 students, which is nearly 70% of our student body, were able to dance with that silent DJ or silent disco or outside DJ, play video games inside the game truck, watch the Cars movie on the big screen, and have root beer floats as dessert. We also recently had our first club rush, where freshmen were able to leave class 15 minutes early to see all of our 50-plus clubs and decide if they want to join one or create one of their own. Last night, our choir program exhibited their lingua franca performance, where they learned songs in different languages to bring together different cultures and values. Some of the upcoming events that are happening at MC right now is our annual multicultural fair tomorrow during lunch, where students are able to learn about the different cultures and countries that are represented at MC. Tomorrow night, our 5-on-1 football team takes on San Marcos in our annual Pink Out game to honor and bring awareness to breast cancer, making our Red Sea turn into a Pink Sea. Our renowned orchestra is displaying their performance in the upcoming week to the student body to see their talent. National Red Ribbon Week is coming up to promote staying drug-free and alcohol-free with the help of our Sun Devil ambassadors at the elementary and middle schools. On October 26th, MC is hosting the annual Tournament of the Bands for all the schools in the area to compete. We would like to thank Mesa Verde Middle School for opening up their campus that same day to host the PSAT so that we are able to host the tournament. It is amazing to see all the activities that are happening and seeing the Sun Devils get involved. This year has been started on a fabulous note, and I can't wait to see everything that the Sun Devils accomplish. Thank you for all your time and support, and remember, it's great to be a Sun Devil.
Thank you, Ms. Bromwell. I also see a blue letter jacket there, Nadine Palma from Rancho Bernardo High School. Come on down.
Good evening, and thank you so much for allowing me to speak with you all. My name is Nadine Palma, and I am the ASB president of Rancho Bernardo High School. I'm thrilled to share some exciting updates on behalf of Rancho Bernardo and just how great it is to be a Bronco. Taking a look back at the beginning of August, prior to the first day of school, we hosted Bronco Roundup, which is our registration for our returning students, where they were able to take their ID pictures and buy merchandise. We also hosted Bronco Camp for our incoming freshmen, where ASB hung posters all throughout the campus to help our school feel more welcoming to our new students. I was given the opportunity, along with a few other executive student leaders, to build an ASB station for our freshmen to cycle through while they toured along with our Blue Crew leaders. We decorated the ASB classroom from floor to ceiling with blew-out decorations where we presented upcoming school events, spirit videos, and what to expect their first week of high school. We were very grateful to be able to create this welcoming space for them because we know that entering a new environment can be nerve-wracking. However, here at RB, we want to make sure that everyone feels welcomed and safe. Just a few days later, for the first day of school, we had our Welcome Back Assembly where we introduced our new class presidents, played games with our fall sport athletes, and had a fabulous fashion show to display our Spirit football game themes, along with wonderful performances by cheer and dance and introductions of our site administrators and counselors. The very next day, we welcomed every Bronco on campus to our large quad where we distributed free RBHS Bronco tees for every student to help promote unity amongst our student body and that we wear blue every Friday. The amount of students wearing blue and RBHS apparel has increased, and this was just the start to an amazing school year. Finishing up our Welcome Back week, we had a great start to our football season with our game against the Poway Titans. That game set the record for the most attendance RB has ever experienced amongst both our student body and general attendees. We had students from all over Poway Unified in our student section watching. With the help of our ASB, the Gridiron Club football booster program, and football coaches, we were able to have a Jumbotron, inflatable tunnel and helmet, along with an airplane flyover and a new Billy the Bronco mascot. After a great game, the Broncos defeated our biggest rival, and with that momentum, both our players and students carried that spirit onto the upcoming games, continuing to show up to every game, home and away, with the utmost amount of Bronco spirit. Our student section is always positive, decked out appropriate to the theme, and proud to represent our school. Our Broncos on the field have been performing exceptionally, and we're all excited to see where this season takes us. This past Friday, we hosted the PPR Game of the Week against Del Norte High School. Our football team walked down the stadium to the field in coordination with fireworks to create excitement in the crowd. Respectively, both teams played great, but at the end of the night, our players paid them back for our 4 OT lost last year with a final score of 28-14. In addition to our fall sports, we had girls volleyball, field hockey, water polo, golf, and flag football roll into season. Being that this year is our first year with a CIF-recognized flag football team, we're extremely supportive and excited to see how our girls do in their first season. Sticking to tradition, we also hosted our annual Back in Blacklight dance where over 700 students danced the night away with the help of ASB, Bronco staff, and SOS Entertainment. Last month, our ASB class, along with Blue Crew, Avid seniors, peer counselors, and ambassadors also came together and proudly represented RB at the CATA Area G Conference for San Diego High School leaders held at Classical Academy. The students executives of ASB, including myself, displayed our ways to maintain a safe and spirited student section and also how to run an engaging student-led music festival. This was not only a time where we presented, but also received and learned new things we could input from other schools around San Diego and Imperial County. With great leaders from all over the region, it built a high-energy, well-minded, and productive workspace for us all to help better our schools. Closing out the month of September, we had the great privilege to host our annual Sophomore Human Relations Conference thanks to the $3,500 donation from our wonderful PTSA. For those who are unfamiliar with HRC, this is a mandatory one-day program for our sophomore class where they participate in tiered green, yellow, and red light activities, helping them focus on building connections within our student body and breaking down the walls they have between each other. With help from our 84 amazing junior and senior facilitators and longtime guest speakers Dean and Rochelle, our 10th graders were able to experience the great impacts of HRC while learning that we all have so many things in common with one another and the importance of being kind to each other. This week, we have the RBHS drama program performing our fall play Romeo and Juliet with a special Day of the Dead theme set in Mexico in tribute to Hispanic Heritage Month. Our Hispanic Heritage Month and our Hispanic Heritage Club and AP Spanish class assisted in both decorating our Performing Arts Center with a Dia de los Muertos ofrenda, along with creating a bilingual play program in both English and Spanish. Their final show will be taking place tonight at 7 p.m., and tickets are still available for $10 at the door. Earlier this week, RBHS also participated in the California Student Mock Election hosted by the Secretary of State's office. Over 150 students participated in this election by casting their ballots for U.S. President, U.S. Senate, and propositions affecting Californians in this year's upcoming election. We are proud to announce that our Broncos learned about their civic duties as U.S. citizens where they received opportunities to register and pre-register to vote, along with learning about the importance of voting and receiving the opportunity to become poll workers in next month's election. Lastly, we are excited to announce that we will be having our homecoming dance on November 2nd following our homecoming game against Mount Carmel. This year's theme is Shipwrecked at Sea, where we'll be decorating our gym in under-the-sea decorations, having laser tag, mini golf, game stations, karaoke, and a candy and drink table, an outdoor movie theater, and a great DJ. Our classes are getting ready to perform their air bands during the homecoming assembly and before our homecoming football game. Staying with the theme, we have our freshman air bands as Surf's Up, sophomores with Moana, juniors taking SpongeBob, and our seniors with The Little Mermaid. I have great pride and I'm extremely grateful that I get to help represent RB's accomplishments. Therefore, I would like to thank you all for having me and granting me this time to express the many reasons why it's great to be a Bronco.
From Twin Peaks Middle School, Reese Davidson. Welcome.
Hello, PUSD board members. My name is Reese Davidson, and I am a Twin Peaks ASB president for the 2024 to 2025 school year. I am an 8th grader, and I'm so excited to represent my school here today. I'm so proud of our school and all the activities, events, and welcoming atmosphere that our school provides for our students. At Twin Peaks, we strive to get as many students as possible involved on campus. We have leadership groups like ASB, AVID, CGSF, WEB, and more. We look forward to a lot of school dances and lunchtime activities. One of the top priorities of our ASB team is to encourage our students to join and have fun in our events. We want them to have amazing memories of our school and the experience that we gave them. I mean, you guys have to have one memory in middle school that has stayed with you to now. We as an ASB class are working even more to try to get more of the school to join and want to participate to help them create those special memories. This year, we're using a student engagement and behavior rewards app called 5-Star. This program encourages students to participate in events and show positive behavior to get points, which they can redeem for cool prizes. These prizes are anywhere from TPMS friendship bracelets for 5 points to Rainbow Stuffies for 200 points. We have found this reward system makes students more and more eager to participate in events like Spirit Days and outwardly show their best behavior in and out of the classroom. We also have many student interest clubs on campus. This is a great way for our students to express what they like, share their interests with other people, and meet new friends. We hold an event called the Club Fair, where people can come and find new or old clubs that they would like to join. This year, we are excited to welcome the Recycling Arts Club, Drama Club, Wings and Fire Club, and more to our club list. Our goal is for all students to become a part of the RAM family and have a place where they feel welcome on campus. We have a tradition that we have done for many years that is special for our school. This is called RAM Pride Fridays. These days are where we encourage our school to dress up in TPMS gear. We want everyone to participate in this. Even if you don't have any gear bought, you can dress in our school colors. It's a great way to get everyone involved and included. Our school loves to participate in all of our Spirit Days. We recently had our Start with Hello Week. Start with Hello Week is for people making new friendships and trying to make everyone feel not left out. We want to have everyone be able to have someone to go to. For Spirit Days this week, we had Pajama Day, Twin Day, Pink Day, Sports Day, and Green and Yellow Day. According to the data we collected using our 5-star program, at least 60% of our students have participated in at least one Spirit Day so far this year. We can do better, but for the first Spirit Week, I would say we did pretty well. I love seeing how creative the students get with these Spirit Days. A favorite for our school is Pink or Blackout Day. Another one that I love is Red Ribbon Week, which is coming up in just a few weeks. This Spirit Week revolves around every student pledging to be drug-free. As students progress through middle school, it's a great reminder of how drugs can negatively affect your life. Speaking of events, we kicked off this school year by hosting 3 different pep rallies for each grade on the first day of school. We played multiple interactive games and tossed free TPMS RAM Pride into the crowd. This was a great way to welcome the kids back from school and get them excited for the year ahead. We are currently in process of planning our 2nd annual haunted house. This is where each classroom is decorated and designed by a group of ASB members to put on a scary showcase. Last year was our first year trying this out, and it went extremely well. I can't wait to see how this one turns out this year. One of the last things that I would like to talk about is the quote that I chose as our guiding vision for ASB this year. A team is a group of people with different abilities, talents, experiences, and backgrounds who have come together for a shared purpose. Despite their differences, that common goal provides the thread that defines them as a team. This quote shows that everyone has different ideas and talents to help us grow and expand what we already know. We need to use everyone's unique abilities to work together as a team. Being an ASB all my 3 years at Twin Peaks Middle School has been an amazing experience. I want all the students there to have the same feeling. To do so, we need to keep encouraging each other and making everyone feel welcome. School is a home, ours is a family of Rams. Thank you so much for having me here this evening. Have a great rest of your night.
Thank you, Reese. And from Creekside Elementary School, we have Blake Taggart and Avery Thomas.
Hi, I'm Avery Thomas.
Hello, I'm Blake Taggart, and we're both 5th grade student council representatives from the Creekside Elementary School.
There has been a lot of fantastic events and activities happening on our campus, and so much more to come.
It's been awesome to have VapaVision at our school. We've had fun lessons in music, art, theater, and even learned about different cultures and languages.
The school garden has been the place to be. Each class had the opportunity to help cultivate the garden by planting new herbs, flowers, and vegetables. We even were able to taste some of last year's crops. We had a great turnout at the first family breakfast in the garden.
Creekside has offered many studentship leader roles. Safe Patrol began last week, keeping our families and students safe. 2 student council representatives were from each of our 3rd through 5th grade classes.
10 students were selected for GNN, Gecko News Network, and they will create videos that keep the school updated on what's happening and hip on campus.
Our 4th and 5th grade kindness coaches are gearing up to help during primary recess with games, activities, and conflict resolution. On Tuesdays, we would wear our positivity shirts and build our social emotional skills through weekly lessons.
Tomorrow, our first graders will participate in the annual Teddy Bear Breakfast and Parade. All of us from 2nd to 5th grade love and cherish this tradition.
One of the biggest and spookiest events that happens at Creekside is the coming up on October 18th and 19th. Creekside Haunted Trails and Trunk or Treat would be a spooktacular time for all ages to enjoy. Come join in on the fun if you can.
Red Women Week begins on October 21st. We will mark our commitment to being drug-free and lots of exciting activities.
All of us are getting our costumes ready for the Halloween parade taking on place on October 31st.
We are so proud to be Creekside Geckos and love enjoying, sharing, and wonderful school-wide events with you all.
Make it a great day or not, the choice is yours.
This is Avery.
And Blake, signing off. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. I think making it a great day sounds like my choice today. And thank you all the students for being here. I love the fan club over here from Mount Carmel cheering for everyone. Love it. If you have places to be and homework to do, we understand. Now's a great time to go, or you can hang out for the rest of the night. This is going to be fun and great, because Blake told me it should. So we're going to move on then. If no one's leaving, okay, I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Okay, item 4.2 is our public comment. I'll just echo some things that Ms. Kiley already shared. If you'd like to address the board, please fill out the public speaker request and submit it to Ms. Anderson before the agenda item is called. Speaking time is limited to 2 minutes per speaker with a maximum of 30 minutes total. I'm told we have 15 speakers, so that is just perfect. We won't have to change anything. Reminder, if you have concerns regarding specific individuals, it is preferred that you refrain from naming them publicly. The appropriate complaint process can be obtained again from Ms. Anderson. The board will not allow any disturbance or willful interruptions of our meeting. We have an expectation that everyone here is going to conduct themselves with decorum, respect, and civility. With that in mind, Clerk Couvrette, you're up. Please call the first speaker.
First up is Tim Doherty.
Hello, my name is Tim Doherty, and I believe I'm the most qualified and experienced candidate for Trustee Area A Governing Board Member, which is up for election. The following is my ballot statement that all voters have received in the mail this past week. I've been a San Diego resident for over 22 years and a parent at PUSD for nearly a decade. I've served as a PTA board officer for 4 years and president for 2. During my tenure, I've spearheaded fundraising for school programs and led initiatives as the elected school site council chairman, including the SBSA process, LCAP, and safety committee. Professionally, I'm a supply chain engineering executive with extensive experience in leadership and problem solving across various business units and sizes. I educate engineering students and sit on an advisory board at a local university. I contribute to our community through board member roles on the Rancho Penasquitos Planning Group and Rancho Penasquitos Town Council. The district faces significant challenges, such as leadership and teacher turnover, declining test scores. In fact, just today, the state released the test scores, and PUSD declined in both math and English over 1% year over year. Facility needs and an historic budget shortfall are upon us. My background uniquely equips me to tackle these issues. I solve problems and improve systems for a living. And I'm committed to refocusing our district on academic excellence, safety, wellness, and fiscal responsibility. I'm the candidate with real experience working alongside parents, teachers, and administrators to improve education. I am the candidate who will focus on execute the fundamentals effectively. I ask the community to vote for fundamentals for the future of PUSD. VoteTimD.com. Thank you.
Julia Fontana.
Council members and Superintendent, my name is Julia Fontana, and I am a mother to 4 young children. I'm here tonight because it is my sacred duty as their mother to protect them and advocate for them until they are capable of advocating for themselves. I have already emailed you each my concerns at Tierra Bonita and with the overarching leadership. In my email, I cited 9, that's right, 9 red flags that I have observed this year as a mother to 2 children on campus. Tonight, I have questions. Why is my 5-year-old nephew relaying events in his TK classroom where the TK teacher is grabbing a student by her upper arm and forcing her down into a chair in front of the class? This is not normal. This is inappropriate teacher-to-student behavior. Why, when allegations arose for inappropriate physical interactions between the TK teacher and TK students, was she never put on leave? Where is the only widely trusted and vetted adult that was historically in that classroom, Miss Julie Burr? How was a thorough investigation completed by the district when no students or parents in the TK classroom were ever interviewed? Christine Donnelly, Ricardo Cesena, and Greg Mizell, we are not buying it. Why does the Tierra Bonita principal have such an extensive resume of being at so many schools? Why has he been laid off so many times? His resume is not assuring. Why was the principal alone in the TK classroom with a student stroking the student's arm? This is inappropriate physical behavior. This is weird. It is establishing a bad habit. Why was the principal alone with my 7-year-old son with the door closed to discuss rules for a recess game? This is inappropriate behavior. This is not normal. This is establishing a bad habit. Why does the principal want the kids to kneel when he blows his whistle? This is not normal. This is weird. It is establishing a bad habit. Why has Christine Donnelly not taken a harder stand? Why has Ricardo Cesena not taken a harder stand? Why has Greg Mizell not taken a harder stand? I think it is clear. It is because you would rather protect your own instead of protecting our children, and it is deplorable. I ask you to do something.
Amanda Cosmo.
Good evening. My name is Amanda Cosmo. I have 2 children that attend Tierra Bonita Elementary School, with one of them in the TK class. I'm here to express my dissatisfaction with the response the principal and PUSD provided our school community with regard to a concerning interaction between a TK student and the teacher. Communication from the principal and district about recent events have been cryptic, vague, and crafted to placate parents in a manner that feels deceptive and intentional. The Sheriff's Department's presence at school on 9/26 and the subsequent emails sent by the principal reassuring parents that at no time was there any threat to our students was misleading and left parents unsettled. On 10/1, the district said that there was an interaction that was non-criminal and that an investigation by the Sheriff's Department and district had already been completed. Although this action may be determined as non-criminal, it leaves a reasonable person to believe that the interaction was questionable enough that staff, as mandated reporters, felt that it needed to be reported to authorities. What is extremely disappointing is that the teacher has remained on campus to this day, even during this apparent investigation where no parents were notified. During that time, my child and other children were in the presence of a teacher that had allegedly inappropriately interacted with a student, and that is unacceptable. The failure to place this teacher on leave during that investigation speaks volumes, as the perception is that the district is more focused on protecting staff and wanting to limit negative exposure rather than conducting a fair and impartial investigation. I have since kept my child at home. She has not been to school for 2 weeks, and same as other families, because we do not trust that the school will keep her safe. Our Tierra Bonita community is tight-knit, and the teaching staff's conduct has never come into question before. Since the arrival of the new principal, our school community has begun to fracture under his leadership. Parents are frustrated with the lack of transparency and, frankly, the disregard for student safety. Trust has been lost. The collective response from PUSD leaves parents feeling like, once again, the district is trying to brush an incident under the rug. This has to stop. Our children deserve better.
Jenna Fritz.
Good evening. I am a parent of a TK student at Tierra Bonita. Due to concerns of safety, lack of structure, and regression in my son's behavior, we have removed him from the TK class and have temporarily enrolled him into his old preschool. For various reasons, half of the TK families also decided to keep their students home. We face a difficult decision at the end of the month: continue with Tierra Bonita's TK program or enroll him full-time at his preschool, costing our family $10,000 this year. This decision is further complicated by the potential loss of our summer ESS spot and the uncertainty of obtaining an ESS spot in the fall. These are vital for our family as it supports our ability to work full-time. The investigation into the allegations of misconduct raised significant concerns for the Tierra Bonita community. Not only were parents not notified that an investigation was ongoing, but the families of students named in the incidents were not notified. The lack of transparency, as well as the calculated communication from the principal and the district that there was no criminal activity, have led a reasonable person to have an overall sense of unease on campus and complete loss of trust. Not criminal does not equal acceptable. Our youngest, most vulnerable students deserve better. For our family, the observable changes in our son's behavior since starting in TK are most troubling. Previously energetic but well-behaved, he now resorts to tantrums, yelling, and even trying to physically hurt family members, behavior that is echoed by other families in the program. Our children are suffering under the watch of a teacher who lacks experience in classroom management skills, and a principal whose actions have been at best negligent and at worst deceitful. If immediate removals of the TK teacher and principal are not feasible, I urge you to, at minimum, open a second TK classroom with an experienced, qualified teacher, thereby allowing Ms. Julie Burr to resume her role as instructional aide and giving students a safe, nurturing environment to re-enter the classroom. Thank you.
Travis Frazier.
Good evening. Yeah. Trust. As the saying goes, trust should be earned and not given away freely. As parents, we have little choice but to trust that our children are cared equally or better than we do ourselves every time we send them through the gates of our school. I found out the sheriff's presence on Tierra Bonita campus on Thursday the 26th was in response to a code 273 for child endangerment. I found this out from parents who did their own investigating with the sheriff's department. After hearing this, along with firsthand accounts from the parents of TK students regarding the misconduct and inappropriate behavior of the TK teacher, I found the response from the school and the district as not only ambiguous but also misleading. When information becomes public record, there should be more caution taken in statements made to parents regarding child safety. I understand that the level of discretion is necessary when dealing with matters of this nature. However, the parents of the students involved were never notified. The teacher was never put on leave while a truly thorough investigation was performed. And everyone else was told that at no point was there a threat to students. This negligence is not in standing with the level of transparency we expect from the caretakers of our children. After this, the school and the board has lost mine and many others' trust. It is on you to earn it back. We will continue to make our voices heard until action is taken.
Jessica Frazier. Jessica Frazier.
I'm here to express my outrage regarding the ongoing situation involving the TK teacher at Tierra Bonita. The district's website, your first goal is to empower student success by ensuring that all learning environments are safe, inclusive, innovative, and equitable. Our principal has stated that he conducted his own investigation. However, no staff, parent, student, or aide has been interviewed and no formal investigation has been conducted. I don't understand how you can back his decision when 4- and 5-year-old children are repeatedly being subjected to emotional abuse, physical abuse, and child neglect on a daily basis, and you continue to keep this teacher in the classroom. Such treatment not only violates the trust in our educations, but also jeopardizes the emotional and psychological well-being of our children. Your employee is in violation of your own policy and remains employed, which is utterly unacceptable. 8 families have already pulled their children out of the classroom only 7 weeks after school's begun. Is this not alarming to you? The time and energy spent by parents on this matter with kids not in TK is astronomical. We have been researching policies, talking to parents, gathering information. However, is it not your job to oversee the safety of our children? We have found many things, but a policy for when something as monumental as this happens is nowhere to be found. We entrust our kids to your care with the expectation that they will be safe, supported, and respected. Instead, it appears that this expectation is being shattered by not only the principal, but by the board as well. This is not just a matter of poor teaching practices, it is a serious issue of child welfare that demands immediate attention. Our kids deserve to learn in a safe environment, free from intimidation and fear. I don't understand why the welfare of our children is not of the utmost importance to you, especially what happened last year with the previous superintendent.
Next up is Sarani Rodriguez, and due to accommodation, she gets 4 minutes with the use of an interpreter.
Hola, buenas noches. Me siento muy nerviosa, pero es necesario que alce mi voz por mi hija de 4 años.
She says that she feels very nervous, but she feels the right to speak up for her child because she's only 4 years old.
Han estado pasando cosas en la escuela que no se nos han informado. Ha estado mi hija en peligro. Se le negó el agua en 2 ocasiones. Llegó mi hija bien sedienta después de recogerla. Le expliqué y le pregunté que por qué venía sedienta. Me dijo que se les olvidó y que no le habían regresado para darle agua. Entonces estoy muy molesta porque yo pienso que la mandé a una buena escuela, una escuela con gente capacitada, certificada, y no es así. Ya no tengo la confianza de que mi hija regrese a la escuela porque no sé si me va a llegar deshidratada o igualmente como me llegó, que se me enfermó 1 semana.
She's saying that she is very upset that she was never informed that there was an investigation or any allegations that were brought to her attention only through another parent and never through the school. And she said that it's unfair for her to not have that choice to say, hey, my daughter's in danger, should she or she should not bring her to school. She said that she has not bring her to school because she thought that she was bringing her to a safe school, very prestigious district, and it is not adding up to her that it's not safe for her to go to school. And now she's saying that her daughter was not given water. In 2 occasions, she did speak up to the teacher saying, hey, my daughter's very thirsty. She comes really thirsty. Why are you guys not giving her water? And why are you guys taking that water away from her, or not sure why the water was not given to her daughter when she asked for it. She went to speak for it, that they're not giving her daughter water, and nothing was done. She said that because due to her lack of not getting water, she was dehydrated and she was sick for a week. So she had to stay with her at school. Sorry, my English and Spanish is not that great, but she's just very upset that her daughter's coming home dehydrated, and she's sending her with water. When she comes back, the water is full, so why are you guys not giving her water? So she is very upset of that.
Estoy nerviosa y no quiero pensar cómo estuvo mi hija de 4 años cuando pidió agua y no fue en su idioma natal y no le pudieron dar agua. Estoy triste, estoy inconforme y alzo la voz por ella. Yo siendo latina alzo la voz porque no tenemos que tener miedo solo por ser latinos. Yo espero en ustedes que por favor hagan algo y se lo suplico porque no podemos venir a este país sintiéndonos menos solo por no saber el idioma, que tenemos que aprender y lo estamos aprendiendo, pero por favor ayúdenos a que esa voz de esa niña de 4 años que no fue escuchada y que para muchos no fue importante, para esta vez lo sea, y por favor escúchenla, por favor.
She's saying that she did ask the water in her native language, which is Spanish. So I believe Ms. Arnold is speaking Spanish, so she understood her daughter. And she's saying it's really sad as a Latin American to be here and to not be heard because we are Latin. So it is really sad that our voice is not being heard. And she's saying, is it because we're Latin? Is it because we're of a race? Because if that's the case, I thought this was like a country where everyone gets treated equally. And she's saying that she's here to stand up for a 4-year-old that doesn't have that voice. And she wants to advocate for her daughter for not being able to give her what is right and what she believes is right to be given, which is water. I think she says she can't even imagine what her daughter was feeling when she was so thirsty and asking for water multiple times to her teacher.
Los capacitados son ustedes.
Dr. Devesh Vishita.
Hello and good evening. My name is Dr. Devesh Vashishta. I'm a family physician and medical director running for school board in Trustee Area A. I had prepared remarks about our campaign, but did not know that we would have such a large contingency of parents representing concerns from Tierra Bonita Elementary. So I will limit my remarks to say first that I'm glad to hear this powerful feedback from our PUSD community today. Second, as a family physician and parent of young children ages 6 and 3, I care deeply about children's health and well-being, and I hope to earn your vote this November. Thank you.
Susan Van Winkle.
We're together on the same topic.
I see that is Stephen Kelly.
Yes.
I'll have you right after her, so we'll just go for her 2 minutes and then go to your 2 minutes.
We sequenced it with me to go first.
Then I'm just going to flip my card around here,
Thank
and
you very
Stephen
much.
Kelly, you are up first.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, my name is Stephen Kelly, and my spouse, Susan Van Winkle, and I attended last month's board meeting to bring to your attention the ongoing neglect of landscape maintenance at Westwood Elementary School. Now, this affects hundreds of townhomes, apartment units, and single-family homes directly adjacent to school property, but also nearby. We live in the townhomes. As we told you, the board last month, there are multiple groves of overgrown, towering palm trees with clusters of dead palm fronds overshadowing our homes, as well as school structures. This problem was well known to the district, I believe, if not the board perhaps, before we spoke last month. In the weeks following last month's board meeting, I called the board number, inquiring if there had been any action on the issue. I was told that my messages had been passed on and that I could expect a call or email, and that hasn't happened. So in my opinion, these overgrown, half-dead trees are torches ready to ignite in the kind of firestorm that devastated our communities in 2007. A code compliance official visited the site at my request and said that these trees do pose a threat, not just to our homes, but the school as well. We believe the official may have shared this opinion with the district. However, according to the city's brush management guidelines, the palm trees are not technically within a brush management zone, and therefore the fire department can't compel the district to trim or remove them. However, if you look at this picture, it's just common sense that these are significant fire hazards. The official observed that in a firestorm, dead palm fronds will blow and ignite eaves and roofs.
The district, through its staff, has written to our homeowners associations claiming that a 40-year-old agreement obliges the HOAs to share the cost of trimming or removing the trees. The HOAs have consulted an attorney on this matter, and the HOAs have categorically rejected this contention. The district has never provided this so-called agreement for the simple reason that it doesn't exist. Last month, we appealed to the board to do the right thing and deal with the issue, giving you the benefit of the doubt that perhaps you didn't know how this issue was not being dealt with by staff, but now you are aware of it. We don't speak for other homeowners or the homeowners associations as such. However, today we want to state very clearly that should homes in our community, our homes are wood, our fences are wood. You can see how close the fences are to these palm trees. If our homes are destroyed in a fire because of the district's neglect, we will hold the district and the board responsible.
Rochelle Babler.
Without looking for it, I saw TJ Zane, former PUSD trustee, walk up to a special board meeting early on Saturday morning and share with someone that he was there for a committee meeting. The only thing going on that morning was interviews for the new superintendent's hiring, so immediately a red flag went up. When I emailed the board about his presence, it was shared to me that as part of the interview process, potential superintendent candidates were also interviewed with a community panel. TJ was chosen by Ginger to be her representative. This panel asked a series of questions and came to a consensus of the candidate's strengths and weaknesses. None of us would have known about this community panel had we not seen TJ and asked questions. And Ginger, why would you choose someone that was involved in a lawsuit with the last superintendent hiring? Because you did not make it open to the public, be transparent, and hid it, the superintendent you're announcing tonight should be void. They should not be announced because it looks like you violated the law by holding information back. Another thing you failed to do was have a community forum. It's right on your website. You did not follow it. And the survey doesn't count as that went out to just PUSD. When Phelps was hiring, this happened and there was a lawsuit, and you are doing it again. I don't blame the search firm, I blame you. And who dictates the hiring timeline on your website? Oh, that's right, it's the board president. I emailed the search firm to ask some questions and have not heard back yet. Again, I don't believe the search firm is at fault. You were the ones that did not make this process transparent. You left out details, the vetting of the panel members, interviews, etc. This would never have been shared, and nobody knew about it. I want everyone to really hear this, especially the news. The board did not invite the public to this panel process. They potentially hid meetings with this community panel. They did not hold a community forum, and the special meetings they had were sneaky and suspect. To the new superintendent in the audience, I'm sure you're a very nice person. I'm really sorry but PUSD is notorious for not being transparent, hiding things from the public, not following through with things they say they'll do, and have now hired 3 superintendents that have all been terminated with cause. Hopefully they didn't do you wrong in the process.
Shane.
Hi, I've passed out a chart anyone's welcome to take. This was published by Voice of San Diego. This is a nonprofit news organization. Charity Navigator rates it at a 100% or 4-star rating and is considered to have a slight to moderate liberal bias. In mid-June, the Voice of San Diego analyzed San Diego Unified 11th graders' math classroom grades and their math CASP scores. The CASP is the standards-based test California 11th graders take. They found that generally only 20 to 50% of 11th graders met the grade level standards, but the same students passed classes at a whopping rate of 70 to 90%. Looks like a systemic problem of teachers inflating grades, even when the 11th grader doesn't meet the state standards on the CASP. I am extremely worried this is happening in Poway Unified. Also, in 2023, I spoke about how my teenager was passed in 9th grade biology with a D test average. Last year, he passed Math 3B with a D test average. Please, I don't know how to think that homework was so thoroughly analyzed that the teacher could boost a final grade to a C. My child is not being properly prepared for college, in my opinion, and I know he is not the only one. I would have preferred he got the D that he deserved, in both classes and took the classes over. I wonder if this is an unethical practice. We have one board member here running for higher office and another rerunning. I truly wonder if elevating grades is more important than preparing the teenager for higher education. Is promoting and publishing higher academic grades more important than providing a proper education where students can pass the California State Standards test, especially in math? And if my teenager scores a 1 on this year's CASP, like he did the last time, I will know or believe my fears are correct. This ethical issue is so small compared to what all these parents came for, but I'm worried that there's a problem with ethics in general in the district.
Brenda?
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to speak. Last year, I brought my concerns to Poway Unified about the adoption of Leader in Me program, and all of you approved it. As I mentioned previously, the Leader in Me program appears to be based on religious belief. The Leader in Me, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, appears to be a form of indoctrination because it teaches a group of people, children in this case, a specific set of beliefs or ideas and values. It typically involves a one-sided presentation of information to influence someone's perspective and thinking in a particular direction. Indoctrination can occur in various contexts, including religious, political, educational, and ideological settings. It is generally considered unethical to use public schools as a platform for indoctrinating children with specific religious beliefs. A teacher's job is to emphasize the importance of teaching students how to think rather than telling them what to think. There are plenty other ways to teach children to be leaders and good role models without the use of this program. The Leader in Me curriculum also has been criticized for using subliminal messages embedded in symbolism, such as the tree and the lighthouse. If Leader in Me posters are hung around the school campuses, there are similarities with the Mormon tree of life. This tree is a symbol of bright light, which people are drawn to. The tree, for example, is presented as a symbol of growth and development, but can also be seen as presenting a framework of values that children are expected to internalize, discourage independent thought. Let's see. One of the other symbols is the Lighthouse School, and I believe one of the schools is a lighthouse school. And here are some famous quotes by Thomas Monson, who is the 16th president of the Latter-day Saints. As we follow the example of a Savior, live and lived, as he taught, that light will burn within us and light will follow the way for others. It would seem unethical for this program process to continue at any.
Melissa Lazaro.
Good evening. In honor of Dyslexia Awareness Month, I am speaking tonight. I have bittersweet news. The sweet part is that our son is graduating this year, so you may not have to see me anymore. Applying to university, and thanks to private tutoring and Dyslexia Middle School and an extraordinary RBHS case manager, Kaylee Dunn, our son is finally thriving at PUSD. Dyslexia is hereditary and impacts 1 in 5 students. That's 6 students in every classroom, a tremendous amount of students in our district. Most of you know my journey in advocating for dyslexia that began 12 years ago. Myself and a group of parents became experts in literacy. We advocated at the state level and at PUSD for dyslexia screening, evidence-based reading curriculum, and IMSC teacher training. And thanks to the persistence of parents, grassroots efforts, Board Member Ginger, Interim Superintendent Greg Mizell, Trinae Sevilla, and the unnecessary but needed due process lawsuits against the district, all K2 teachers have now been trained in IMSC. PUSD also committed to screening every child in grades K2 using the core reading assessment. However, teachers were never instructed on how to effectively utilize the scores for instruction or how to support students with dyslexia. Yesterday, I conducted an online poll and asked, if you were to have a child in K2, have you received the students' core reading results yet? 70% have not received results. Assessing students can only go so far without the training of teachers on the next steps of effective instruction. I am speaking on behalf of teachers who are frustrated and fill the disconnect between their understanding of dyslexia and how to effectively support their instruction. Additionally, there is zero consistency of curriculum being used in impact, known as Tier 2 and 3 used in the district. For using evidence-based curriculum, students are routinely stuck in Tier 2 and 3 for years. Imagine the shame and mental health impact of being repeatedly pulled out of class to be given instruction that does not help accelerate your learning, let alone provide foundational learning skills. It's insanity and torture. So I ask you, where's
Belinda Hill.
Hi, my name is Belinda Hill, and I've been talking to people at Power Unified School District about dyslexia for more than 15 years. Progress has been made in that time, thanks to Greg Mizell, Ginger, and others, but I find myself still hitting my head against the wall. Just this last week, a parent reached out to me. Their child had been struggling since kindergarten. He's tested in second grade, given an IEP, no mention of red flags for dyslexia. The parent doesn't know what program is being used. They're concerned their child is not progressing, another year is slipping by, and their child is falling further behind. Sadly, this is not unusual. I receive many calls like this, and it breaks my heart. Years ago, Poway purchased the Barton Reading and Spelling program and hired me to train the teachers. Despite asking many high-up positions, I have been unable to get answers to my questions. Several of my questions, some of which are, which schools are still using the program? What kids have to do to qualify for the program? Who is monitoring that program is being taught with fidelity? Just this last summer, one of my students qualified for the Barton Reading program in the summer. It was not successful. Why? The teacher was not familiar with the program as she should have been. She didn't have the necessary materials to teach the program, and it wasn't implemented with fidelity. Last year, one of my students who was in level 7 was given a Barton teacher who was only taught through level 3. This would be asking a Spanish 1 teacher, only trained to teach Spanish 1, to teach AP Spanish. Trinace presented last April, I think it was, about the IMSE program, which I'm very excited about. But Trinace said there was 7% that didn't make gains with this program. I ask you, ask what happened to those specific 7% of students. These are the ones I lose sleep about. We know early intervention is key. It takes 4 times as long to intervene in 4th grade as it does in kindergarten, and it can be identified as early as before kindergarten. I have a bunch of questions I'm going to hand out for you guys that I have been trying.
Michelle, that concludes all our comments.
Thank you, Clerk Coufret, and thank you to our public commenters. That takes us to item 5.1, approval of our consent calendar. Does any board member have any item to pull? Then I will take a motion.
Motion to approve.
A motion by Dr. Patel, a second by Dr. Seitzma. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you, that passes unanimously. Item 6.1 is student academic calendars 2025, 2026, and 2026-2027. Mr. Jimenez.
Thank you, President O'Connor-Ratcliffe. Members of our district calendar committee are proposing the first reading of the student academic calendars for the 2025-26 and 2026-27 school years. The proposed draft reflect 180 student attendance days, legal holidays, and district recess periods. The proposed start dates for these next 2 years for the first day of school in both years will begin in mid-August versus the 3rd week of August has occurred in this most recent school year. The primary driver of the mid-August start date is the ongoing changes in the CalPADS reporting timelines and deadlines. The data that is submitted to CalPADS each year relates to graduation rates, English learner reclassifications, and special education data. This data impacts the California dashboard results by which student outcomes are measured each year. The final year, end-of-year deadlines for the CalPADS dashboard was as late as August 25th in the most recent 2022-23 school year. However, it will be moved up by the state of California in the 25-26 school year to July 31st, 2026. So thus, by not adjusting for this timeline change, there could be adverse effect on the district's data reporting through the CalPADS dashboard as reflected each year. The end date for the 2025-26 school year will be June 4th, 2026. And for the 2026-27 school year, the end date will be June 3rd. These earlier end dates will allow those students who need additional time to complete graduation requirements to do so before these updated deadlines take effect. Other local school districts, like our district, have also made adjustments to their academic calendars, such as the San Diego Union High School District, whose last day will be May 29th in 2026, and San Diego Unified School District, whose last day will be May 28th, 2026. The start dates for both academic years are reflected on the calendar. Although this information has been reviewed with our calendar committee, the impact on the start and end dates for employee work years still need to be negotiated with our collective bargaining unit partners. Again, this is a first reading for your review, and it will be brought back next month.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. Oh, I'm seeing something else you wanted to mention? No? Okay. Any questions from board members on this one? I got to say, I would have liked the opportunity to be able to lobby against this change. I can't believe the state just did this to us. Not super happy about this one, but okay. Sounds like there's not much we can do about it.
Why did the state decide to do this? I mean, I follow social media, and everyone's like, we're used to it starting after Labor Day, and we keep getting earlier and earlier. Was there a reason that they gave for doing this?
The move to the earlier cutoff date was in an effort to get all of the dashboard data and those public reports out sooner. Right, because all of the graduation rates and everything is part of that dashboard. We typically get it much later in the year. So the state is trying to move all of that earlier. In order to do that, they have to have all of their data earlier.
Any other comments on this? It doesn't make us happier, but okay. No? All right. Okay. That takes us to item 6.2, approval of the superintendent employment agreement. This is Mr. Jimenez, but I'm going to take this from you right off the bat. This item is the board's consideration of the employment agreement for Dr. Benjamin Churchill to serve as superintendent of Poway Unified School District. Prior to taking final action, Government Code Section 54953 requires an oral summary of the salaries, salary schedules, or compensation paid in the form of fringe benefits of a local agency executive during open session of a regular board meeting in which the final action is to be taken. So here I go. This is long, it's 2 pages, so bear with me. According to, okay, so this is the recommended financial terms of the superintendent employment agreement that the board will subsequently vote on. 1, the district and Dr. Churchill are entering into an employment agreement with a 3-year term to commence on December 2nd, 2024, and terminate on December 2nd, 2027, unless extended or terminated earlier pursuant to the terms of the agreement. Number 2, for the term of the agreement, Dr. Churchill's annual base salary shall be $360,000. Number 3, Dr. Churchill is a 12-month employee with 244 workdays. He shall accrue 1 sick leave day per month and 26 vacation days per full year. Dr. Churchill may accrue a maximum of 52 unused vacation days, and any further accrual shall cease until the amount of earned unused vacation drops below the 52-day cap. In the event of separation from employment, Dr. Churchill shall be compensated for all unused and accrued vacation at his then daily rate of compensation. Number 4, Dr. Churchill shall receive the same district-approved health and welfare benefits for himself and his dependents that are provided to other district certificated management employees. Number 5, upon Dr. Churchill's retirement from the district shall pay the full premium costs for Dr. Churchill to be covered under any health and welfare plan offered to other certificated management employees until he is eligible for Medicare. When he is eligible for Medicare, he shall have the option to continue the district plan at his own cost. Number 6, the district shall reimburse Dr. Churchill for actual and necessary expenses incurred in the performance of his duties, including membership dues in organizations related to his role as superintendent and in one community service club. Number 7, Dr. Churchill is entitled to longevity salary increases as follows: 2.5% increase of his then current base salary after 10 years of district service, 5% increase of his then current base salary after 15 years of district service, 7.5% increase of his then current base salary after 20 years of district service, and 10% increase of his then current base salary after 25 years of district service. The longevity increase at each step is not calculated on a compounding basis. Number 8, Dr. Churchill shall receive the same doctoral stipend as other district management employees. 9, the district agrees to pay the premiums for a life insurance policy with a benefit of $250,000 on behalf of Dr. Churchill. At the end of the agreement, Dr. Churchill has the option to continue the life insurance policy at the current district group rates at his own cost. Number 10, Dr. Churchill will be provided with the ability to use a district-approved tax-sheltered annuity account such as an IRS 403B or 457 plan. For the term of the agreement, the district will contribute $1,000 each month to such account selected by Dr. Churchill and to the extent authorized by law, and such monthly contributions by the district shall be for a total of 60 months or when the agreement is terminated for any reason, whichever occurs first. 11, in the event the agreement is terminated prior to its expiration without cause, Dr. Churchill shall receive his monthly salary in effect during the last month of service for a period of 12 months, or the remainder of the term of this agreement, whichever is less, in conformity with Government Code Section 53260. Number 12, in the event of Dr. Churchill's untimely death, the district shall pay to his estate, unless otherwise declared in writing by Dr. Churchill or directed by the executor of his estate, all salary and other monetary amounts due to him up to the time of his death. And number 13, the agreement includes a defense and indemnification provision where the district shall defend and indemnify Dr. Churchill regarding any demands, claims, suits, and legal proceedings brought against Dr. Churchill relating to his role and duties as superintendent of the district. That is the employment agreement at this time. Are there questions, conversation, a motion?
I have a comment. I would just like to say I like that this contract is clean. I know this is something that has been a concern through other districts, that there are lots of extras and things added on top, like a vehicle and things like that, and we've managed to keep this contract very clean, and I appreciate that our future superintendent has agreed to keep a very clean contract. Thank you.
Any other questions? No? Motion? I will make the motion to approve this contract. Is there a second?
Second.
On a motion by O'Connor Ratcliffe and a second by Dr. Seitzma. I'm not sure our student board member is technically allowed to vote on this, but I'm going to give you a preferential. What do you think?
Yes.
Thank you very much. And for everyone else, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, that is unanimous at 5-0, plus possibly an unofficial vote there. Thank you all very much, and thank you, Dr. Churchill. You're official now. We can sign this later. 7.1, approval of resolution number 20-2025 entitled CalShape Ventilation Grants. Our newbie up here.
Hello there, yes.
Mr. Magnuson, yes.
Thank you very much. Thanks, sir.
I just mistered you. Are you doctor or Mr.?
Mr.
Thank you.
Thank you. We are pleased to bring this resolution to the board to authorize application acceptance of the $6.9 million grant, which will fund district HVAC equipment assessments, support HVAC maintenance, including repairs, filter replacements, and install CO2 monitors throughout the classroom, throughout the districts. So we would request your authorization to do just that.
Thank you very much. You got a fun first one. I don't think anybody wants to turn down $6.8 million.
Very good.
Any questions?
Perfect timing.
I was going to say motion to approve.
Yeah. All right, on a motion by Ms. Coubret, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Dr. Patel. Any other comments, questions before we go? Ms. Kiley?
Aye.
Thank you. And everybody else, all in favor? Aye. That's 6-0. We'll take the money.
Very good.
Thank you. Unanimous. 7.2, ratification of the superintendent's appointment of the Real Property Advisory Committee. Mr. Magnuson.
Yes, following the board's direction for the superintendent to appoint members to and form a real property advisory committee. From over 120 volunteers, 11 community members were selected for appointment through a multi-stage review and appointment process that complies with Education Code 17389. The purpose of the Real Property Advisory Committee is to review and advise regarding the use and disposition of district-owned properties as may be necessary. We request the board's ratification of the superintendent's committee appointments. We've confirmed availability of all appointees at this point, but one for the initial committee meeting on October 16th. We're expecting to hear from her before that. The first, as I mentioned, the first RPAC meeting is scheduled for October 16th, and we request the board's ratification of this committee appointments.
Thank you very much. Any comments or questions? I would just like to thank everyone who stepped up. I don't know the names on this list well, maybe a couple, but thank you for everyone who stepped up and volunteered to do this work. I appreciate you. Is there a motion?
Yeah, move to ratify.
Thank you. On a motion by Dr. Patel, is there a second?
I'll second.
And a second from Ms. Plotsky. For the preferential vote, Ms. Kiley?
Aye.
Thank you. And everybody else? Aye. All right, that looks unanimous as well, 6-0. Thank you. 7.3 is Carl Mountain Ranch Business Community Association, CC&R's amendment. Mr. Magnuson.
By virtue of the Poway Unified School District district office being located within the Carmel Mountain Ranch Business Community Association, boundaries of the district, you're a member of the association. The association has proposed and enclosed a second amendment to declarations of covenants, conditions, restrictions, and reservations, more commonly called CC&Rs, of easement to clarify the association may permit the operation of a for-rent residential apartment, and that such permit would be subject to the association's design guidelines as may be established. Staff is recommending that the board approve the proposed amendment as it establishes additional flexibility for district property as well as all the other properties within the association to perhaps one day become an apartment building under the association's CC&Rs. So with that, we request approval.
Any questions or comments on this one? I think we're always happy to have the potential of more students coming our way. Is there a motion? We're moving to send somebody to vote yes on our behalf. Is that correct? Okay. So is there a motion to that effect?
Motion.
Thank you. Oh, yes.
So I just wanted to make sure, because I know this had been sitting, and it did say in the document that the date was August, that they wanted the vote by. Is it, our vote still going to count?
Yes, it is.
Forward?
We've been in contact with the association, and there is no hard deadline for the vote, which is kind of surprising.
Okay.
So they're willing to accept our vote, yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so we had a motion by Dr. Seitzma. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Plotsky. Any other questions or comments before I rush us through this? Sorry
That's all
about
right.
that, I
That's
didn't
okay.
see you. No? Okay. Then I'll take a preferential vote from Ms. Kiley.
Aye.
Thank you. And from everyone else?
Aye.
Aye. All right, that's unanimous as well. Go forth, vote for us.
Thank you very much.
8.0 is the first reading of preschool curriculum adoption. Ms. Peterson.
Thank you, Madam President. This preschool curriculum is presented tonight as a first reading. The proposed curriculum, Creative Curriculum for Preschool, engages early learners through play-based, hands-on investigations, a research-based approach that incorporates language, literacy, and mathematics throughout the day. The curriculum supports whole child development by emphasizing physical, language, social, emotional, cognitive, mathematical, literacy, science, social studies, technology, and the arts, and addresses all 9 domains of early learning and development outlined by the California Preschool Transitional Kindergarten Learning Foundations. A request for approval will be submitted at the November 14th board meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Peterson. Anyone?
I had one concern that was brought up from some of the TK parents at Tierra Bonita. When you go to this play-based, are there still standards? Is there still curriculum? It's not just playing with Legos all day.
That's correct. We follow the standards. They're just standards for early childhood versus standards for our 1st through 5th grade students or even our kindergarten students. So there are specific preschool standards as well as specific TK standards.
And a question along that line, this would be the same kind of standards you would see in a private TK setting or preschool setting?
Well, a private TK or preschool setting isn't required to adopt any state standard, so it may look different. We, however, are required to follow the standards set forward by the state of California. So there may be a difference, but we follow the state standards.
Thank you for that clarification.
Any other questions? This is a first reading, so no vote this month. Okay. 12.1 is our board member reports. Here we go. We got through it, team. Ms. Kylie, you're up first.
It's hard to believe that the school year now is no longer just beginning and we're fully back into the swing of things. For students, the excitement of the new year has given way to familiar routines with school spirit, clubs, Olympiads, sports, all back in full force. Some high schools have already celebrated homecoming, which feels way too fast for me, but it marked the start of a high school journey for freshmen and the beginning of a long goodbye for us seniors. And I know at high schools around ramping up for new spirit weeks coming off the heels of homecoming that are coming in the upcoming weeks like at Del Norte. Somehow this year feels like it's moving faster than ever, and I know many of my fellow seniors feel the same way as we juggle college applications, senior activities, football games, practices, clubs, and the everyday demands of school. Over the past month, I've been focused on connecting with students over a range of important issues and elevating student voice within my community. I've had discussions and meetings about upcoming changes to school schedules, substance abuse issues, the curriculum in certain courses that students feel aren't meeting their needs. I'm especially proud of the work at my own school and the Writing Center that we've been doing, expanding workshops to support students across various subjects and helping English learners with peer tutoring. We've reached out to other high schools connected with ASB members to explore how we can expand these initiatives and ensure that marginalized students in every school has the resources that they deserve. Continuing on my own personal news, I reached out to the National Student Board Member Association looking for a bit of support, and I applied for a leadership opportunity and was selected to be the West Strategy Coordinator. So essentially my role is to help create new student board members, and I hope that it'll be an opportunity for me to connect with fellow student board members about various issues and bring even more student opinion to the board. We've already discussed issues like environmental policies, student mental health days, and ways that we can increase student voice in general. The work is really just beginning, but I hope for, big changes coming along the way. I would also like to take a moment to think about the upcoming Red Ribbon Week that is happening at the end of October, which I think is a great opportunity for schools across the district to raise opportunity in a time where this issue feels more prevalent than ever. So, thank you.
Thank you for that report. Good evening, everyone. As the weather changes, it's clear that we are in holiday season around the district and well settled into the school year. I see the Halloween stuff up, and of course it's Diwali coming up as well. Since we last met, so much has been going on, including presentations from our VAPA programs at all levels. They're getting ready for their first performances of the year. Athletic teams are building their win-loss records, as we heard from our students today. And academic teams have moved beyond the planning phase and into strategy phase. I want to highlight a few activities and updates going on throughout the district, some of which were touched on earlier today, and I'm proud to highlight the following. Really proud and excited that we received the CalShape grant. That is, it's only in phase one. It's the California Schools Healthy Air, Plumbing, and Efficiency Program. That's what the SHAPE means in CalShape. And the really exciting thing about this is it couldn't have come at a better time. We have been seeing challenges with our HVAC systems throughout the district, and there are still concerns about air quality in some of our schools. So having this grant is really going to help us with some of our most dire needs. Also want to congratulate the Studio 701 program for receiving the Golden Bell. That's something that, as a California School Boards Association delegate and leader within that system, really proud to have our school receiving a Golden Bell almost every year that
been on the board, it's really exciting. I am sad to say that I'll probably most likely miss the presentation of that Golden Bell, but still really proud that Ross Callan, our Teacher of the Year, was part of that, and we're going to sorely miss Christine Peck, who is a real instructional leader in the Studio 701 program. Also, want to highlight niche.com, the school ratings program. It's a market leader in connecting colleges and schools with students and families, and they did release their 2025 school ratings. We, the Poway Unified School District, are the #1 unified school district in San Diego County. That is something definitely to be proud of. There's a lot of information to dig into in those rankings, and I recommend people go to niche.com to learn more. Around the district, I have had the chance to visit a few school sites, including Willow Grove, Stone Ranch, and Monterey Ridge elementary schools. At each of the schools, I visited with Interim Superintendent Mizell, and we walked through classrooms with a specific interest in observing math instruction and student engagement. These visits, as always, offer me the opportunity to interact with some of our newer leaders and observing them in action, and it's really great to be on school sites, especially when you're having a challenging time. On behalf of the district, I was happy to represent our board as a participant in the Poway Days Parade, along with many of my colleagues here. Each year, our district programs and community groups participate in the parade as a way to showcase our talent and achievements to the community. Many thanks to PPMC, that's the Poway to Palomar Middle College, for organizing an amazing internship and career expo. Our staff is clearly responding to the needs and interests of our students, as it was very noticeable that there were more and more varied opportunities provided at this year's event compared to last year. I was thrilled to attend the signing of the MOU with Special Olympics to designate PUSD as a Challenge Athletes District. I will not go into details because I'm sure there are other board members that would like to highlight this and who are especially more involved than I was in bringing this to Poway Unified. Clearly, there are so many challenges going on across the district, and there's a lot to reflect on ways we could improve. But I would be remiss not to share my optimistic outlook on addressing some of these challenges. We're a hardworking, sincere, and kind community, and my hope is that we continue to create environments where we can strive to do our best work from the seats we occupy and help those around us be their best selves too. As we enter into a period with leadership transition, let's make sure that we lead with kindness and the common goal of keeping our focus on what's best for our learners. That concludes my report.
Hello and happy October, everyone. While the district held the largest e-bike training to date this month for the first of 3 safety summits, I was attending the City of San Diego's safety update as the board liaison to the City Council, hosted by City Councilwoman Marnie Van Wolpert. At the meeting, the San Diego Police Department discussed the e-bike situation from their side and took questions from the public. A lot of the complaints surrounded adults driving in the e-bike lanes and sidewalks at full speed, not necessarily our teens. There were questions about students, and the area chief brought up our e-bike licensing program, where he said that they were planning on using our program from PUSD as a model to take citywide to every district in the citywide area, and as well as sharing it with the sheriff's office, who had been interested in wanting to take it countywide as well. So kudos to our safety department. For those of you who have witnessed issues of students riding recklessly regularly in the same area at the same time of day, they requested that you call the non-emergency hotline and leave that information so they can make sure that those corners or crosswalks have increased patrols in that area at that time of day. That's the only time that they're going to know where exactly to look, because they're already checking our schools in and out times. So that's what they're requesting. There was also a teaser at the city meeting of a grant program coming to this from the city council of teachers for buying their first homes for a grant program. There was no more details offered, but it was exciting news. I was also at the Personnel Commission meeting this month, as well as the Budget Commission meetings trying to make sure when decisions come up that I'm fully aware and pertinent of all the information so we can make the best informed details. Thank you, and that's my board report.
So I'm keeping mine a little bit short. I want to highlight a couple of community events that I attended. I was fortunate to join Mercedes back there with the Youth in Transition, and I just found out 3 hours ago of good news. So many of you guys know I participate with the Kiwanis, and we do a Holiday with Heroes where 150 of Poway Unified kids get $100 or so, and they shop for their family members, and then they get a bunch of other stuff that's donated by the community. So there's a lot of community partners on that. And last year, we had quite a bit left over because we obviously are more generous. And if someone will meet me at the office after that event, all of the leftovers come to Youth in Transition. So I'm super excited about that. So we're going to fill your closets up. So super happy about that. And talking about the partnerships that we have with the Poway community, with Dr. Seitzma and Superintendent Gregg, we got to learn a little bit more about Mayor Voss in the Leader in Me program. My dog plays with his dog, but I did not know his favorite color was black. So we always learn something new, but it's really nice as we see with the e-bikes and things like that. The partnership that we have with the city of Poway is very strong and benefits PUSD greatly. As a representative of the community, I did spend a lot of time with Tierra Bonita parents and staff this past couple weeks. And, you know, the one thing that we do have is we all have the shared goal of to have a safe, fun, and rigorous environment where there's active student engagement and learning. And I think that that's truly what is accepted and what we all want. I feel communication is the most important thing we have. You can't communicate too much, except for obviously what we have to keep confidential. But on the other side is to communicate even if we can't get back to someone immediately, saying we will get back to you in a certain amount of time. And I think a lot of these escalating issues could have been helped a little bit along the way. So that is my commitment to try to do better with communication. I want to welcome our new superintendent. I think you've got quite an interesting day today, but there is a lot of wonderful things going on in our district, and I'm excited to have you part of it.
Good evening and happy mid-October. Fall is in the air, sort of, we're getting there. And there are so many amazing fall festivals scheduled at schools around the district this month. I might follow up and check on that haunted trails that was mentioned for Creekside. Haven't seen that one yet, and I've heard really good things about it. I hope you all get the opportunity to make it to at least one of these fun, spectacular events. Here are a few highlights from the events that I was able to attend this past month. As mentioned, the Poway Rotary Day Parade was a few weeks ago. We had a lot of schools that were represented, participating in floats and between bands. And whether you are participating in the parade or a spectator, parades bring together so many parts of the community. It's a positive, engaging experience. I always feel a stronger connection to my community during these parades. And then most recently, there was the Fall Festival. So it's just, if you're, it's not necessarily school district related, but when you've got community events, we love knowing about it because it's an opportunity for all of us just to connect and build a stronger community. I feel so blessed to be a part of our community. I made a few visits this past month to Garden Road. I enjoyed cheering on the TK and the kindergartners as they ran their first fun run. The fundraising that circles around this event motivated the students, and they earned enough money to have their new principal slimed in hot pink slime by the winning class at Friday Flag. I wasn't about to miss seeing the new principal get slimed, so welcome aboard to Garden Road. I returned a few hours later to attending Q&A, as Ms. Couret mentioned, from Poway Mayor Voss to a group of to the third grade classes. I was very impressed at the higher order thinking questions these students asked Mayor Voss, and I was impressed that he would just break out in song in front of the kids. And I was also impressed at how quickly the principal had got cleaned up from being slimed just a few hours earlier. So after, as a board member Dr. Patel had mentioned just a few weeks ago, not even a few weeks ago, after nearly 2 years of bringing the idea forward about the unified sports, we finally signed our MRU with the Special Olympics to officially kick off our sports program. I would like to thank Poway High and Del Norte High for volunteering to bring these programs to their schools first, with more schools to follow. And there's too many names to name, but I want to thank all the staff, from teachers to Associate Superintendent Mizell, to just a long list of names that put in countless hours to bring this program forward for all of our students. The induction ceremony took place at Poway High, and we were joined by the students from one of the unified PE classes. A few of the students spoke, sharing what this program has meant to them as the unified sports started last year. All students shared how special it is to make new friends. For the 2 general ed students, the impact of being a part of this program, being supportive and learning how to be inclusive and supportive of their new friends was profound, and possibly considering careers in this area. Being able to observe the class dynamics and the interactions with all the students was truly awe-inspiring. To say that it was a proud moment was an understatement. The first face-off will take place between Poway and Del Norte in just a few short weeks, and I cannot wait. What are they? Do we know what sport they're doing? Do we know? No? Soccer? Soccer? Well, I have it on my calendar. I just thought that they would say and anticipate. Okay, maybe, okay. It was great to see so many people from around the district attend the budget workshop presented by Mr. Magnuson earlier this week. I don't show my gratitude enough for the hard work that our finance team does. I know it's not an easy task. I am great at a very basic budget, and how this team is able to manage, predict, and try to explain the multiple funds and categories in terms that so we all can understand really amazes me. I'm getting there, and so thank you to everybody on that team. Have a fun and safe rest of your October, and with that, I conclude my report.
Thank you, Dr. Seitzma. I visited 3 of our high schools this month for their activities. I think we've already heard about a couple of them. PPMC and their internship and career expo was amazing. It featured a bunch of community employers looking for interns. And Principal Hurt told me that about 1/3 of the students there who were in suits ready to interview on the spot right there, 1/3 of them were going to walk away with offers that morning. I would love to see more of this at other sites in our district. It was really something. Poway High's hosting of the Special Olympics formalized partnership. I won't restate everything. I will say, though, that Adobe Bluffs Elementary School is actually our first unified champion school in the district, and that was last year, or 2 years ago. So they were the very first one. But Del Norte and Poway jumping in with the unified PE classes this year. You got to raise your hand, and they did, and that was exceptional. Dr. Seitzma and I attended 3 years ago at our annual education conference for the school boards, a breakout session on the Unified Champions program, and we were super impressed, and we brought it home, and Mr. Mizell and his team ran with it, and here we are. Here we are. Inclusion is a mindset, and we're working on it. Belonging benefits everyone. I'm excited about this. This is a passion of mine. I was also at Westview a couple of times, first for a principal coffee chat that focused on college admissions. It was super fun. I know where you're at down there. I get it, Ms. Kiley. The school counselors and guests from San Diego State and UC Irvine were there sharing insights into what the mindset of the readers of our applications are. So tons of parent questions and engagement. I'm sure they'll be letting their students know what was said. Second, I attended some of the Westview homecoming activities, including their pep rally with an incredible electric guitar rendition of the national anthem. Really, really outstanding. Our students are so talented. The big draw for me is always every year they do their speed painting competition, and each class does, it's about a 3 foot by 3 foot, would you say, canvas, and each class does a different scene based on the theme of homecoming, and this was Haunted Homecoming, Tim Burton. So they did, and they paint, they have a team of students at each of these 4 canvases. Some of them are painting upside down. I mean, it is wild. They are crowded around these canvases, and what our students turn out in just that short 40 minutes, 30 minutes of this pep rally is absolutely outstanding and just wildly beautiful. There's a lot of talent there, a lot of fun too. Judging the homecoming floats was impossible, but I'm happy to be asked every year. I'm pretty sure the seniors won, but don't quote me on that. This week was also the first Knowledge and Network event of the year. It was about understanding the roles of our special education professionals who work with our families and our kids. PT, OT, APE, SLP, BI, all the letters were there, and super valuable for parents attending to understand the services that each can provide, what those look like. They're advocating for their kids. They need to know what are these letters, who are these people. So I'm very grateful to Jody Payne and the parent ambassadors who helped do these. I'm really glad it's still rolling this year. It's phenomenal, really. I was going to highlight a behind-the-scenes story, and I think I'm going to skip that one because we're going to end before 8? I don't know. I'm going to skip my behind-the-scenes story, but the star, by the way, was IT Director Ken Wall, so maybe I'll tell it next month. Final thoughts. I got my ballot in the mail this week, and I think all of us probably did. Finals are in 2 weeks for the quarter schools, not you. Halloween's on the horizon. Fall is here, and like Miss Kylie, it feels too quick. But we really are well and truly into the school year at this point. There is so much going on for our students and staff and our whole community. And the things going on include change. And there is change. And change is hard, and you all know this. Even when you know it's coming, even when you know it's here, even when you're excited about it. And if you're not excited, rather than dwell on what used to be, wanting new things to be just like the old things, just give it a minute. Everyone needs an opportunity to show what they're about and what they can do. And if you are excited, that means you can come to my party. We're in this together. We're going to work hard. We're going to give our kids the best because that's what they deserve. Mr. Mizell.
Thank you, President O'Connor-Ratcliffe. Thank you. So, as we all heard earlier this evening, Dr. Ben Churchill has been selected to lead our school district forward. Mr. and Mrs. Churchill, welcome to Team PUSD. We're looking forward to you joining us in December and excited for the opportunity to learn with you. As you heard tonight, there are lots of challenges ahead. There are also wonderful things happening every day in this school district. Next level stories all around us. So it's easy to lose sight of that. This is, as you shared in your comments, a storied and proud school district. And in my remarks at the start of the school year in a what if video I sent out, what if this is our best year, right? Like, so instead of thinking backwards about who we were, as you were suggesting, instead of reflecting on, what it was, I think it's always best to imagine our best days are forward. And I still believe this can be one of our very best years yet. So full of hope, full of optimism. And when you look at that wall, my friend, we need you. We need more people carrying more water. So we're all pretty tired. So with that, we have several student recognitions that I want to include in this report. We had 55 high school students named as National Merit Scholarship semifinalists. 55. So just so we're clear, like this group of students represent the top 1% of all students in U.S. high schools. 55, like that's just a crazy number. We had finalists, semifinalists at every one of our high schools. Like think about that, at every one of our high schools. We'll find out in the spring who the finalists are, but in the interim, I just want to congratulate all of our students. It's a prestigious distinction that they've earned. It's a result of their hard work. It's also a result of our systems, our staff, dedicated and talented people who pour into their lives. It's also kudos to their families who support them at home as well. So something to celebrate. I also want to shout out, we heard one board member mention it, Studio 701, our internship program. That group won a Golden Bell from the California School Boards Association. Yes, CTE team in the back. They're always good for awards and revenue, like you. Grants and trophies, that's what we love about CTE, and real world pathways for our students. I know that's something Dr. Churchill is passionate about. It's here, it's strong, it's a rich tradition, it's good and getting better. And with that, since we've heard about Studio 701, let's watch a video. This month's Excellent in Education video, created by our interns, highlights some of the successes of the CTE Student Expo. Let's take a look.
From learning about skeletal structures to treating muscular injuries, these students may one day use their knowledge to become medical professionals.
I think this is my 12th, maybe 13th year of sports medicine. I now have students that are orthopedic physicians, orthopedic surgeons, they're physician's assistants. If you walk into R27 at Mount Carmel High School, you're going to be greeted with 11 treatment tables that you would find at a physical therapy clinic.
At the 2024 Career Technical Education Expo, teachers and students highlighted hands-on learning experiences to members of the community.
The most important thing about career technical education is that it really gives our students a chance to uncover skills and passions. It gives them an opportunity to actually see themselves in the future, have an idea of their goals and what they want to do in the future that connects back to the educational experience today.
CTE also gives students an outlet in which they can be creative, advance their skills, and see themselves in a space in which they belong.
Being a part of this community in photography, it's amazing. I mean, it's a way to show my creative expression. And, you know, I've just been loving it.
The fact that I can get together with people who also do what I do best, which is talk and interact, create new ideas, that really helps with getting us to new places.
Students and parents alike have been inspired by the educational experience that CTE provides.
I think it's given her more vision of what a woman can do in science and technology, and she's getting a little more excited for a career.
Career and industry partners are fundamental to the success of Poway Unified CTE programs, with partners like HP, who hosted the expo inside their company headquarters.
It's been a fantastic experience, seeing everything from CS-related projects, art-related projects, medical-related projects. I mean, I've been impressed with the array, and I was talking to some 7th and 8th grade students who had, you know, an amazing set of experiences that I would have never had the option to do when I was their age.
And the hope is that starting CTE from a young age allows students to get a head start in their future. For the Excellence in Education series, I'm Brooke Rosenberg, Studio 701.
So we had a friendly wager, a few of us, that we would be out of here at 8 o'clock. So I just need to make a few more comments to win this wager. You know, I hate to hold you all hostage. I do want to say, no, almost. There's something hopeful about October. It's the beginning of the holidays. Many of our families will be celebrating or observing Yom Kippur. We have Halloween. We have fall festivals. We have Veterans Day coming up. We have Thanksgiving. I mean, come on. Who doesn't get excited when we think about a change in the weather? Even looking at the weather forecast, we have cooler days ahead, right? Highs in the 60s. Come on, it's starting to feel like pumpkins and apples, and it's 8 o'clock. That concludes my report.
According to my desktop here, it's 7:58. So the next regularly scheduled board meeting will be held Tuesday, November 14th, 6 PM, right here. We are, oh, Thursday? Did I say Tuesday? Oh, Thursday. We are adjourned at 7:59.